Hello and good evening. I'm Abs of October Red, and this is just a bit of an impromptu live. I said I'll try and keep you guys up to date with what I was doing. So basically, we are here, we are in London, Riyadh season. It is Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois for the heavyweight title. Once again, it's the IBF heavyweight belt. Obviously, got into London, went over to the press conference. And as I initially thought, and I did say this to the subscribers, that there is a potential of me struggling to get content. And I say this because it's been going since Monday. Fighters have been doing interviews, everything since Monday. We are now on Thursday. We are getting towards weigh-in. Not all the fights are heavyweights. So I knew I was going to struggle to get content today, which I have. But I have lined up. I'm going to try and get some content for you guys tomorrow. But Ames, good evening to you. How are you? You can jump in on the live if you feel like it. You're more than welcome to. Hope you're good. But yeah, I've lined up to get some content tomorrow. Say less. When I get it, I'll put it out. But it's just a courtesy live to say, look, I did try, but today was as expected. People are just all talked out. So yeah, earlier on in the week, everyone's fresh, good to go. And now it's like, I mean, we saw it even with Joshua Buatsi. He was saying, listen, if you want to hear what I've said, go and watch these several YouTube interviews that I've done already. So it's getting to that point where people are like, ugh, but it's one of them. So we'll see what we can get tomorrow. One of the things, I started it. Well, I didn't start it on Twitter actually, but I kind of did. I was asking, it was a £64,000 question where was Don Charles. It seems to be a bit of a hot topic at the moment. Obviously, it's been put to bed with it that he's potentially got a cold. He's out of the way, but he'll be there on fight night, and he will be in Daniel Dubois' corner. So, look, he's going to be there. Those rumours were put to bed. But as an avid boxing fan, I've got to admit, I was one of them thinking, hold on a minute. Where is he? Why is he not there? He's usually there for the press conferences, but he wasn't at this one. It hasn't been there all week. But it's been said he's got a cold. So he's just keeping a low profile until fight night. And what we did have, which was quite interesting, we saw a plethora of conversations that came out from Spencer Fearon, which was very interesting, to say the least. They've done their rounds. I mean, the videos were literally going viral. And I think that Daniel Dubois addressed that with Frank Warren, stating that, there may have been some issues of monetary value, but they're not going to get into that because that's between them, etc., etc. Yeah, it got a bit techie, but I don't even know if those videos are still up. I might need to check it. But listen, I've got to have my manners. I'm not sure about the Wi-Fi in the hotel, as you can see. You can't see actually. It's a blurred background. I could give you like a quick tour in it. Could do. Hold on. I don't know if you can see. Just not nice little cheeky hotel. So yeah, loads of videos, loads of stuff going on. But let me say hello to the chat. So if you've just joined us, good evening. I thought I'd just put this up and leave it to run for tomorrow. So take Ames. Shout out to Ames, Eamon Khan from Seconds Out. One of my faves in the industry. Got a lot of time for Eamon. So missing you this week, Ames. Yeah, it's proper hectic here, but I know you've dealt with all of this before. This is my first time at a Riyadh season card, as in the whole fight week. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Boxing pound for pound, Jack. Good evening, Abs. Looking lovely, jubbly. I don't know why. I feel like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I am absolutely exhausted. This is ready to have a nice, lovely hot bath and go to sleep before I get up and go to the gym in the morning. Do I watch Hollyoaks? That is such a random question. Is that program even still on? Is it even still on? Do people still watch that? Who knows? I'm not really a soap person. I used to watch EastEnders maybe about 30 years ago. Not interested. Chris Welsh, good evening to you. And Chris, that's what I meant to say. I saw the shout out on your channel as well. Congratulations for your sub increase, guys. Go and sub to Chris Welsh's channel. He's there. He does his boxing reviews. You might have done something on this week's events, actually, Chris. Don't know, have you? But go and sub to his channel as well. So thank you for the shout out, Chris. So yeah, back at you. Maka, good evening to you. Hope you're good too. Right, here we go. We've got some predictions in the chat already. I like this. I've got Daniel Dubois by KO, TKO, Black Magic settings. What on earth? What on earth? I don't know what's going around on the internet. I do. Look, I don't know. I don't know where that. I don't even know where that's come from. But whatever. I don't know who does what, wherever, behind closed doors or whatever. Interesting though. But you know what? It's made the fight more spicy. So whatever you want to say, whether it's outlandish, whether it's a little bit, out there, we're talking about the fight even more. It's made it a little bit more intriguing. Dodge, good evening to you. And obviously good evening to the chat. So Mac is saying AJ in 5. I'm going to give you a prediction, and I don't usually do that, but I'm going to do it today. Grant Lomas, good evening to you. And you're genuinely saying Dubois inside 10. I don't think it's going that far, but we'll get to what I think in a bit and we can debate it. Right. I was shot by Chamberlain, Padley Kelly, Davis going, Josh Kelly and Davis going at each other. I thought it'd be chilled. The thing is, and you know what? We can go through it, and I'm going to start with Josh Kelly and Ishmael Davis. I met Ishmael Davis for the first time today. I was supposed to link him to catch up with him because I've never spoken to him before. I was looking forward to speaking to him actually, but I got back over this side so late. He's not going to respond now. He's probably sleeping, so I'm going to line him up for tomorrow. So I get to speak to Ish tomorrow. I'd love to catch up with Josh. Josh Kelly was very calm, collected. You know, when someone's having a go at you, sometimes you might be able to see their face getting all flushed or red or hot or whatever. You couldn't see that with Josh. He was as calm as you like. He described Ishmael as having like nervous energy. This is going back to obviously the press conference. Nervous energy or just really excited to be there. Imagine, you're sat at home. Yeah, fair enough. But you sat at home, you're a professional fighter, but you don't necessarily know when you're going to be boxing again. You know what's going on with Riyadh season. We know what's going on with Riyadh season. And you get that call. And that call could potentially just alter things in your life for a bit, because obviously you'll be compensated for the short notice for getting into that fight. So when we say nervous energy, could it have been that he was just really excited? I think he could have been excited. Could be a little bit of excitable energy. But I did like Josh Kelly's calm demeanor, and it just shows, when you've been up there, you've been at press conferences where people have gone at you and you have that back and forth. That's where Josh Kelly's like experience of being in that environment really shone through. I like that because he was calm, and you could see he wasn't bothered. Because like I said, you would have probably seen his cheeks get flushed. He would have looked slightly like wound up, but he was just, if you had a heart rate monitor on him, he just seemed really chilled. I'm excited for that fight. Josh is, as you know, he punches and he moves. He throws punches in, bunches as well. Sometimes consistently with one hand. We saw what he can do with the hooks. Ishmael is more, he's got a slower pace, but we know that he does, hit with power, but he operates at a slower pace. So I think you've got completely different styles. I'm intrigued to see how they work, because Ishmael will keep coming forward, but he comes forward at a slower pace. And then we've got Josh Kelly potentially moving all the way around the ring and avoiding stuff and slipping shots and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how that fight's going to go. I don't think it's a bad replacement. And Ishmael is extremely confident in his ability. And it's an opportunity of a lifetime. So absolutely, I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to that. But let me get back to the chat. I can't forget my manners to my fabulous subscribers. The beauty of the pencil. Can I ask, do you draw or do you write? The beauty of the pencil. Where does that name come from? I'm intrigued. But good evening to you as well. Star Fox, good evening. See if we've got any mischief coming in from Star Fox. Let's have a look. Legal Eagles, good evening to you. How are you doing? Right, let's have a look. Paul Johnson saying, when you're covering stuff at events, how many hours are you there? It seems like hours and hours. Well, I got there about 5 o'clock, and then I left probably about 9. And when you put it into perspective, you're there. Because like I said, I was already on the back foot because I knew how today would have gone. I've been watching it as you guys sat at home watching it, and you've seen all of the interviews that have been coming out on the channels. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, by the time I get there on press conference day, no one ain't going to want to be speaking. And it is exactly as was. So you're loitering, you're waiting, you're trying to catch people's eye, you're trying to set things up. And then everyone just gets off and you don't get any content, which is frustrating for me because obviously that's what I've traveled down for. And like you said, you're waiting around maybe about 4 or 5, sometimes 6 hours. It just depends. It is a long day, but you don't mind when you feel like you've achieved something. That's why I've come and done this live, because I feel obligated to just let you guys know what I've been doing and why there hasn't been any content put out tonight. I'll try and remain as transparent as I can be, because I want you guys to understand, like, from behind the scenes, like what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do. Let's have a look. Alexander Wilson, good evening to you. I think AJ is going to beat down Dubois. I think it's a mismatch. Very bold words. Let's have a look. I know this is going to be banter from Star Fox. So you've not seen Daniel's dad at any OBIA meetings. Unfortunately, our monthly OBIA meeting, I haven't been able to attend because I've been otherwise engaged. But who knows what can happen at the November one. I don't know why people get scared of OBIA. I don't know why. Wizard Sleeve. I do love this name, and it's so naughty, but it's funny. Anyway, I never knew AJ was fighting Andy Pandy. Andy Pandy, eh? Dodge is saying, I think AJ, and good evening, Dodge. I think AJ blasts him out of there. I still can't decide who wins with Boatsy and Hutchinson. We're going to cover it. We're going to go through the card anyway. I've got you here now, and the hotel Wi-Fi seems to be holding up. Joshua wins by KO inside 7. Dubois doesn't move his head. From Paul Johnson. If Don Charles has 3 arms and 4 legs, the next time we see him, we will know what. You are such a naughty man, Star Fox. All right, let's have a look. Jack is saying, beating a top 15 in Wallin, UFC fighter in Ngannou, Hellenius, who was retired after Wilder 1-round KO, and a journeyman from USA. Take it that's Jermaine Franklin. Was he a journeyman? Gives AJ the false confidence to go for the KO. He will get clipped. Interesting debate. We're gonna break down that fight. Wizard saying 3, if not sooner. Not even a fight. Are you saying that in favour of Joshua then, Wizard? I've got Denny Shiraz to go over 6.5 rounds. I've got, yeah, but what do you think happens with it? We'll break it down. We'll break down the fights. Hey, Metalbox, hope you're good. Good evening to you as well. I like to, when you see like all these names pop up that have been here for like forever, just makes me feel all warm inside. Anyway, right, I've got Denny versus Shiraz to go over 6.5 rounds. I've got Kelly Davis to go over as well. Okay. Chamberlain gets it done in under 4.5. And Boatsy to win by a close decision. I don't want to see points with the Boatsy fight. I want to see a KO. Is that me being selfish? Might be, actually. Let's have a look. Good evening to you, Ricky. Hi, Red. I've never caught one of these. Well, Ricky, tonight's your lucky night. I've got Denny too, but that's Midlands bias. There's nothing wrong with a bit of Midlands bias, Ricky. We've got to have it. Someone's got to stick up for us. Someone has got to say, you know what? I love Midlands. I love the accents. I love the people. So if that's the case, I'm here for it. AJ been fought for me, Lennox Lewis versus Michael Grant. And we all know how that ended. Maya, good evening. What's your take on Stanley Dubois, John Charles, and Spencer Fearon's comments? I think I just kind of touched on that. Every time I've met to Dubois Senior, he's been absolutely fine. It's just like anything, Rob. You know, look, there's people that know me, that like me, and there's people that know me, that hate me. Some of it's my fault, some of it's theirs. It's just one of them. You just got to take people that you find them in it. Spencer obviously said what he said for a reason. He didn't say it on any interviews for nothing. I don't know. It's tricky. It's always tricky when family is involved in boxing. We've seen this several times. It's had different scenarios play out, but we've seen it several times. This is not the first time when family members, you can talk over the ages. I'm not even on about recently. You can talk over the years about when family gets involved in the sport. It can scupper it. Because you've got feelings for your family members, you care about them. It's a little bit more personal, so it can just get messy. This unfortunately has come out in the wash into the public. It's interesting. Obviously, it's relevant because obviously it's fight week, so I guess that's why it's come out this week. If Daniel Dubois wasn't the way he was, I'd be worried that this would affect him psychologically. But because Daniel Dubois is the way he is, I just think this is going to go over his head. And that's who my concern is. I'm not really bothered about, any arguments or any of that's going on the outside. I was concerned, where is Don Charles? Why is he not there for his fighter this week? As a trainer, you usually see them there. And obviously that's been put to bed via, obviously, Don having a cold, and obviously coincidentally, other stuff's come out around it. But it's one of them, isn't it? It's opinions, and opinions based on experiences. It is what it is. But we're all talking about the fight, and that's more than likely why I decided, you know what, let me go live, because there's topics to talk about with Rob. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments anyway. Just tap up what you're thinking there. Like Chris is saying, Hutchinson is that brother who tries to get in your head, but he was cool and expected. And I think that might have frustrated Hutchinson a little bit, because you could see him sitting there and just staring over and laughing and bro, what are you doing? So this is what I've done live for. It's my apology. This is my apology live. So I haven't got any conversations. You know me, I like to call them interviews. I haven't got any conversations dropping today, but I'll find some bits up tomorrow. Tomorrow is weighing day, so it's going to be even more difficult for the fighters, but I'll find some things up. So this is my apology video. Almost feels like, who's on the apology video this week? Is it that podcast? Shit Giggles, where they've done an apology video? Maybe it's the week for it. inside the distance. Good evening to you. What's Chris saying? Dubois always seems shy or nervous in presses to me most of the time. Maybe how big the fight is, AJ's spot. As always, yeah, he does. He's used to this. This is like a walking part. But Dubois has also been involved with presses with lots of eyes on them. That's just the way he is, isn't he? I did like giggle to myself when he banged the table out of, I don't know what it was, but I did chuckle at the back of him. Oh, he's hitting the table. There's a bit of grit there. But if you're, how can I put it? When I see it, I just think like for the whole week, it's playing over and over again. You're getting cameras stuck in your face, microphones stuck in your face, people asking you more or less, and what else is there to ask? This is no criticism, but what else is there to ask? And it's over and over again. Sometimes the fighters are going to be frustrated. They're going to be like, you know what? I just can't. I just want to fight. So, yeah. So that might have been a bit of frustration. We've heard Daniel say that from the beginning, though, to be fair. He's like, I just want to fight. Let's go now. Grant Lomas, where do you think the next Riyadh season event outside Saudi Arabia will take place? I was about to say China, but you just put it in there. Potentially China, yeah. I really do want to see, but I do want to see Joe Parker back in, because Joe Parker's done so well. He's rebuilt. There was a rematch clause with him and Zhang, and it's like almost that's been sort of like pushed to the side because now we've got Martin Bacoli. So yeah, potentially China, and that's why I mentioned Zhang with Martin Bacoli. Yes, October, I'm a graphic designer who loves a bit of drawing, hence the name. Thanks for asking. No worries. That's nice. Good stuff. I hope you're putting them up on YouTube. Get your phone and put the time lapse on your camera, and then show us your drawings or however you do it, and put them on time lapse on YouTube with some free music that YouTube offers, and yeah, or TikTok or whatever. Oh, is my audio that bad? It's gonna be the Wi-Fi. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. Let me see. Let me have a look. Let me test. Oh, I nearly pressed leave studio. I don't want to do that. Audio. Testing. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Guys, let me know how the audio is. But I do apologize for that. Greetings, Iffy. Greetings, everybody. Salute, Sister October Red from Bruce Gas Boxing. Jazz and more. Yeah, I saw you pop up. I think one of Beats' lives. Is the audio still frigged? Hold on. Oh, it sounds okay now. Okay. Thank God for that. Right, let me have a look. Zero. Right, Bloodlust Boxing. Hey, Red. Looks like Dubois is ready to snap with the press. Yeah, I get it. It's like, how many times are you going to repeat yourself? I reckon it wouldn't take much tomorrow. AJ looks like he's handling the week better. Used to it. Could play a part on fight night. Yeah. Let me have a look at. Let me just go through the last one of these. Davis most likely won't win on points against Kelly, so won't be surprised if he stops him. Oh, you're saying that you reckon Davis is going to stop Kelly, Iffy? You putting a wager on that? Not that we encourage gambling, guys. Make sure you gamble aware and you do things safely. I think we've got over the audio thing now, hopefully. Yes, hit like. You know what I need to do? Oh, where's my banner? Yeah, put the banner on it, so that does it for you. If you can do all that magic stuff, I appreciate it very much. Very, very much. Right, let's get back to the chat. Oh, in his hat, his rolled cheeks. Double AA vibe. Much love, Red. Back at you. Back at you. Haven't watched it yet, but what do you make of the David Hay comments? It's like, oh no, I haven't seen David Hay about a potential return to boxing. Anything possible, mate. If Mike Tyson's fighting Jake Paul, how old's David Hay? Anything's possible, Grant. When you're a fighter, I don't think the fighting spirit ever really leaves you anyway. I think it's addictive. I think fighters, and I want about the true fighters. David Hay is a true fighter. Mike Tyson, true fighter. They don't want to give up. They don't want to leave. So nothing wouldn't surprise me. Even though, after like the two like battles that he had with Tony Bellew, like dragging his foot across the ring when he tore his Achilles heel, when it's just like you've just suffered so much now. I don't think I'd want to see it again, but at the end of the day, it's down to him, isn't it? I haven't watched it, but I'll give that a watch. I'll give that a watch tomorrow when I'm on the treadmill. Dubois will throw that right hand from the off. Joshua will time in with the right hand, left hook counter. Dubois on the floor, and that's all she wrote. I like that. And that comes from very aptly named Inside the Distance. We love it. Yeah, thank God the audio's back. Hotspot. Yeah. But if it sounds all right, I'll leave it for a bit. I don't intend to be on here all night anyway. Jay Hurst, good evening to you too. Of course, he's going to be putting a bet on it. The fighter remains its body. Yeah, it's one of them, and the ball's getting stopped. Game and goal out the window. After it goes ding. Let's have a look. Ed Hearn finally going to get a win against Warren. AJ starting in with a 6 interesting point. So yeah, what did we get to? Got to Ishmael Davis, Josh Kelly versus Ishmael Davis. Yeah, I think a short notice fight. I haven't got a problem with it at all. Ishmael Davis, like I said, went on about him having amateur background, comes from no pedigree. He had like a bit of a colourful life. I was reading some bits about him. So before I quote it, because sometimes I get things wrong, so I'm absorbing a lot of things I want to do. I really want to try and speak to Ishmael tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. He's rough, rugged and raw. It'd be to have a little chat with him because, yeah, I think he's got a lot to say. And I do, me, I do like, I don't know what it is. I like to listen to people that have been through hardships, come out the other end. Do you know what I mean? Because that warrior mindset, boxer's warrior mindset, it starts before they get in the ring. Something about true fighters in adversity, potentially, in life, growing up, whatever it is. And obviously, that can really transfer, as it were, into the ring. So, yeah, I do like that fight. Then we've got, in fact, Willie Hutchinson. No, Josh Warrington, Anthony Kakachi. I'm backing Kakachi on this one. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I'm backing the Irishman, Anthony Kakachi. I do like his boxing style. I've watched a few of his fights now, and he's got really lovely movement, and he's very sharp, and obviously demonstrates power. Josh Warrington, I don't care what anybody says, we've seen the fact that there is no belt now. Obviously, they've taken that away because of, obviously, whatever common sense reason why they've said the belt's not going to be on the line. I'm sure they've said that. He's not fighting for a particular belt. Josh Warrington is still a good fight with Anthony Kakachi. He'll come forward, he'll throw, it'll be an active, busy fight for both of them. So I like that fight a lot. But I do think I'm going to go for Kakachi to win on that. I'm backing Kakachi. Josh Kelly and Ishmael Davis. Did I give a prediction on that? The only reason I'll go with Josh Kelly because of experience. but I'm not 100% writing off Ishmael Davis. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. But just because of the paper statistics, I'm going to go with Josh Kelly. But something's just, when something's just whispering in your ear, don't write off Ishmael Davis. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look in the chat. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got that bit. Right, if you're saying Dubois is getting stuck, that impact, yeah, we've got that bit. Just making sure I'm going over. No, I'm on the Wi-Fi. If you're on Wi-Fi, hotspot your computer, it will be better. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on a minute. That's what I have done. Not the let me try because if I do this, it's gonna cut out. Oh, let me try something. See what. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me have a look in the chat. Let's see. Is it back? Yeah, just try to go. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's just going to be. Yeah, it is what it is. I can't even remember where I got to. Where did I get to before it cut off? Audio is back again. It's definitely the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm not doing the hotspot stuff. Let me see. Where did I get to? Can you hear me and can you see me? Get a full refund, bro. To be fair, I got a very, very good price on the hotels. Yeah, what was we saying? Where did we get to? Kakachi, Josh Warrington. I think that's where we got to. I'm backing Kakachi on that one. You can see me and hear me. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a bit of chat coming. Pro Supplements, good evening to you. With the strong muscles. Warrington, unfortunately, getting stopped. His punch resistance has gone. That's where we got to. Okay, so you're not giving Warrington any chance at all. You think he's going to get floored? Shame that. I am backing Kakachi to win, though. Possible upset in the Josh Kelly fight. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Put the heat on Kelly, and he can be a bit brittle. And that's from Joe Stunner Boxing. Good evening to you. Oh, look at this. A bit of subscriber love. Fancy bumping to you here, Joe. I like this stuff. Right, if he's saying that he wants Denny to win against Shiraz, the height bully. The height bully, bless him. We can get to that fight in a minute. Let me just catch up with Joel Stunner's blaming. You have that effect. Joel Stunner, you've frozen up. Don't worry. I always have that effect on women. I've heard that before. It's not really a good thing to have on women, though, is it, Joel? Making them freeze. You want to make us very warm. Right. Skyliner, good evening to you. All that stuff about Dubois and his dad, trouble in their camp, has been fueled by toxic Spencer Fearon because he's butthurt over not receiving a fee for introducing Don Charles as a trainer. Talk about going for the jugular. I don't know the ins and outs. I think Frank Warren said something on, was it with Umar from Box Nation? If it was, shout out to that channel. I think Umar did something with Frank and he sort of skirted over it, but he's of the opinion, look, ain't really got anything to do with that. So yeah, it's a bit messy. Get a full refund. Oh no, don't blame Gareth A. I saw him today, you know. But he was doing the TalkSport stuff. So when they're doing stuff for TalkSport, they can't like do any like interviews and stuff with us, which makes sense because obviously they're there to do their work. But I did bump into the Gareth. Right, you can see and hear us. That's all right. Right, Golden Mike, good evening to you. And if he said, I think he's agreeing with what Skyliner, the editor, said, that's fact. Spencer wanted a fee. Daniel J. Boltang, JB to stop the wee man. Hutchinson rounds 9 to 10. The Gad conspiracy. Oh, look, it's Toby the ring girl Bartlett. He's popped out. He's shown out a bit tonight. So yeah, we got to Josh Warrington, didn't we? I'm backing Kakachi on that one. But then we've got to go to, obviously, Joshua Buatsi, Willie Hutchinson. I found their to-in and fro-in from the very start very interesting. Willie Hutchinson is that guy. He's there for the trash talk. He wants to get under your skin. I think somebody mentioned that earlier on in the chat as well, which, yeah, I get it. Because if you can torment somebody mentally and they're mentally weak or fragile, that's going to get to them. You've got to, haven't you? But Joshua Buatsi is he's quite nonchalant. And when you speak to him as well, like I've spoke to Josh on like a few occasions now, had the pleasure of him being a guest. I'm going to try and get him tomorrow as well. He doesn't really get phased like that. You can say what you want. He's kind of like just shrugs his shoulders and get on with it. And I think that might have bothered Willie a little bit today. But say what you like, it's good for the fight. Like I said, it builds it. If they were both sitting there in silence and not really saying anything and, you know, there weren't potentially any needle, we'd just be sat there like... So it's entertainment. With that fight, I'm always going to back Joshua Buatsi, but I feel as if he needs to make a statement. It's not about a win. You know, I don't want to... Look, I don't want to get a points win. It'd be nice for Joshua Buatsi to get a stoppage win. That would be nice because that's exactly what Willie Hutchinson intends to do to Joshua Buatsi. So whoever wins, I'd like it to be a stoppage. But I do believe, you know, the spiteful Buatsi of old, I think, you know, he can win. Definitely he can win this. I do like that fight as well, a lot. Davis always talking to other YouTube outlets. He did, I don't know if has he done anything this week? I don't think he has. I think he's only been doing TalkSport stuff, Skyliner. Oh my God, where the hell's that come from? Ebony Bridges' baby daddy. Where's that come from? Ebony Bridges. How do you think Shiraz and Denny fight's going to go? I'm going to back Tyler Denny because he's my guy. And I've got a lot of time for him. I'm trying to line him up for tomorrow as well. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I'm going to try. This is a serious fight. And even though he's the champion, he knows what Shiraz is. So he might not really want to talk to anyone anyway. Shiraz, because of his style, the fact that he gets the stoppages, I can see why people are saying that he's the favourite. But like Tyler Denny has said so many times, Iffy, he always goes in as the underdog. He's always the one that goes in like he's going to get written off. And he comes out, he finds a way to win. And I think the thing is with Tyler Denny, he's got will. Like I said, it's not every fighter that has that. He's prepared. It's not even about digging deep. It's like you're running out of oxygen now. What are you going to do? And Tyler will do that. I'm not saying that Hamza won't, but I'm saying that Tyler's got he's got a real desire to win. It's almost like he feels like his life depends on it if he loses. Do you know what I mean? I remember when he won like one of his first fights, he wasn't even signed to Boxer, but he won his first fight and he started to get the taste for it, you know, the audience, the big crowd. I mean, the event that's on Saturday is phenomenal, worlds apart. But when he's talking about, like, he does not want to go back downhill. He just wants to keep where he is. He wants to keep on winning. So it's that will that he's got that is very underestimated and can drag him through wars. So I'm going to back Tyler on that, even though I know that some people ain't even giving him a chance, which is wrong. No, I don't. Listen, hopefully, if I speak to Josh tomorrow, we'll be having that conversation. Yeah, Do Me a Favor is my favorite. He says it with such like disgust. But he doesn't even need to pull the face, does he? Because the words say it for him. He's quite a character, Frankie's. I didn't get anywhere near him today, or Eddie, to be fair. But they literally had the security was there, like keeping them separate. Points win for Boazzi is basically a win for Hutchinson. I don't want points. We don't want points. And Hutchinson, if you think about it, co-promotional or not, Hutchinson is the home fighter. See, I don't listen to the group, so I don't know. I couldn't name any of the songs. I couldn't name any of their songs. I mean, I know who they are, but I couldn't really tell you that much about them. I didn't know that they'd split up. So yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I know that I think both of them like boxing, don't they? Or one of them definitely does. So who knows? Gonna set the Ring Girls on my big screen TV Saturday night, and I might watch a couple of, with Riyadh season, do they have the Ring Girls? That's a serious question because I can't remember. Do they? I'm not sure if they do. Shiraz can defend his whole body just by putting his hands up, and that's unfair. I hope Denny does it. We'll see. That's it. Come on. Don't sleep on Tyler. Come up the hard way. It's what we want to see. Raymondo, fellow Midlander as well. Apparently Noel has refused, but the excellency makes the impossible possible. He definitely does, doesn't he? Because the event that I was at today, I'm going to start waffling now. It was a beautiful building. It's called Guildhall. So if anybody's from like London, you'll probably know of it. It was almost like a church setting, but it sort of had that, with the pews, the seats, and the stained glass, and the obviously the church, the steeple type, windows. It had all of that history to it. It also had a bit of the Renaissance art, the stone carved out, hardly clothed, whatever they are, beautiful, beautiful. But they said downstairs, like under the floor of that actual building, which is like cross between a court of law and a church, that there was the original there's original boxing ring, or the very first boxing event that took place in the UK was actually underground. They had like an underground, I don't know, room as it were, or hall, and the floor had obviously dipped a bit, so it's sort of, they've preserved it, so it's sort of like a little mini museum, which goes back, I think they mentioned something about 2,000 years old or something. So a very historic building. And I guess the point that I'm getting at is, I understand that obviously the event is at the football ground on Saturday. However, to mark the significance of the UK in its connection to boxing, they did the press conference at a place that allegedly held the first boxing match from 2,000 years ago. So it was all very, symbolic, as it were. And I like stuff like that. There was a bit of history to it. I mean, when I went in there, I thought it was a church, and I started burning up a bit because I don't really get on well in churches. But no, it was, it was a beautiful building with a lot of history to it. They had a tour, and I got there too late, so I didn't get to see anything. Right, what we're saying. The Gad was briefly on Jamie Ward's On the Ground podcast for Matchroom. Okay, yeah, but that's like corporate. I'm sure you guys understand that there's a hierarchy in the media, and you've got the major outlets. You've got your Talk Sport, you've got your Matchroom, you've got your Mail, those like, key, The Guardian, you've got, your key media outlets, and then you've got like the YouTubers, and then there's the top YouTubers, IFL, Stomping Ground, Box Nation, Boxing Social. So Seconds Out as well, even though they're not with us this week. So you've got like the top, of like the YouTubers, and then you've got a bit of a gap, and then you've got like channels like myself, like there's sort of like a pecking order. So at the end of the day, other channels will get, and quite rightly so, because I'm old school. I know that I've come into this late. I know that it's me on my own. I know that I'm not a huge channel, so I get it. So there's like a pecking order. So certain people will have privileges and be able to get that access. And I'm not arguing with it. It is what it is. That's just the way it is. So they will get more access, therefore more content, than say the likes of like myself and those that are in that group. So that's just the way it is. So Gad will do work. Going back to that comment, Toby, Gad's going to go on that because it's Matchroom's a key channel. Matchroom's part of the event. He might even go on, say, the Stomping Ground, IFL, Box Nation, because, like I said, there's this like ranking order of like the channels. Yeah, Baracus. Honestly, I've answered this. How long have I been live for? Nearly an hour. Bloody hell. I've been live for nearly an hour, and we're not doing a watch along. We're just having a catch up. Insane. What is black magic, Baracus? Do we simply fear what we do not understand? I mean, I've been quite often called a witch. So I don't really think anything of it. There's the short answer. I don't really think anybody that comes from a Caribbean background, some may see it as bad, and some might see it as just part of, historically part of our culture, and not everything that is classed like the black magic is necessarily bad. Oh, come on, look. What are we doing? What are we doing? What is all trendy, and what does everyone do? I'm going to read my affirmations. I'm going to do my affirmations because I'm going to speak it into existence. So I'm going to speak. You know what you do when you speak? You spell out words, spelling. You're casting spells. You're speaking it into existence. You're affirming, oh, I was supposed to be here because I spoke about it continuously for 5 years. Is that not magic? So it's how you perceive things. So yeah, I don't really over my head, over my head, over my head. My favourite Frank Warren saying is he can't go 2 rounds in a revolving door. My favourite Frank Warren saying was when he mentioned Johnny Nelson, he said, if he was fighting in my back garden, I'd close the curtains. That I can't even remember what I was doing. I know I was drinking a hot drink and I spat it out because it just came out of nowhere. And Frank will sit there and he'll pause, he'll say it, he'll sit there, he'll be calm as you like, he'll come out with the most sarcastic comments ever. And you can see just sort of like a grin. He's really funny. Honestly, Frank Warren does make me laugh. He's very funny, very just witty, just sharp. Oh, that's it, Wonderwall. I should know that song. Yeah, I just I never really listened to that. See, you've just reminded me of the band name. I know you're gonna like shoot me. How dare I? I should know that. It just went over my head. It's late. I just let that be the excuse. It's late. And yeah, Wonderwall is the only decent song. And that's what the crowd will be waiting for. Yeah, it is a sing-along song though, isn't it? Yeah, Guildhall's beautiful. I do, but Sheffield's got some really beautiful buildings as well. I do love the buildings that we've got in the UK. Birmingham's got a few, Bath's got a few as well. It's the stone buildings, the pale sort of cream stone buildings. And I'm not going to say what eras that's from, but yeah, I do love that. The oldest civic hall in Europe was built in the 1400s, steeped in history. Yeah, we've got, honestly, history, love it. Am I the only one who thinks Dubois looks more confident than AJ? Yeah, because I don't. You're going to make me think about that now. I don't. AJ looks relaxed. Dubois looks keen, like he just wants to get on with it. Raymond said he looks scared to death. Don't say that, Red. No ring girls at Wembley. I don't know. I can't remember if they're gonna do they have ring girls in Riyadh season. I don't know. So Raymond saying a mismatch. AJ inside 5. Daniel, yes, you probably are. Daniel, what's it? Yeah, you. Hello, good evening, Russell. Good evening, Russell. Noel and Liam walked Hatton to the ring against Malinaji. Remember, I saw the picture. But no, I wouldn't have remembered that. I wouldn't have remembered that, but I did see a picture of it up recently, so I know there is a significance with them in boxing. Ben Davison's stock's about to go up this weekend. I went up to Ben Davison. I said, Ben, what are you saying? And he goes, oh, I'll give you, I'll do something after the fight. I thought, Wembley, 96,000. You ain't even going to know where I'm sitting. And he says, nah, I'll do it. We'll see. Tell him your uptown ranking. But is it though? Or perspective, definitely. Oh, Emma, how you doing, Ems? Hope you're all good. It's a lovely Emma Willis. And when ladies come into the boxing chat, you know, I could be saying this and it could be someone just using Emma Willis as an alias. But I'm gonna benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna talk old money. And I'm gonna say, Emma Willis, welcome. Please, ladies, gentlemen, put your hands together for Emma Willis. Female in the chat. We've got to shout out the ladies because us ladies love the boxing. We do. And we actually like it because it is boxing, not because it's people scantily clad. No, we actually like boxing. Skyline is saying Spencer Fearon is bad mind. Is he? Black Magic is a scare. Don't fall for it. Paul Daniels, I remember him. He weren't on any special list, was he? Paul Daniels. You know, when you think back to like, because when I was growing up, it was Rolf Harris, Gary Glitter. What was the other one? Not Where's the one with Where's Gomage head hair, and the big inquest came out after it. Can't remember his name. Oh, Jim will fix it. So it was all of that was when I was growing up, and I can remember sat at home thinking, like watching the kids on Jim will fix it when he, they're writing the little sad letters and poor old me, and then you'd go on the show and he'd fix it for you, and then your whole childhood just goes down in the drain because him, even though he got away with it. What's the other one? Gary Glitter, make up rock music on top of the pops. Bloody Rolf Harris and his didgeridoo. Anyway, good old days. Yeah, Johnny Nelson ran off and left me. Eddie must get you in with the stomping. Eddie must get you in with the stomping ground. IFL seconds out boxing social. At least you're up there with them. Personally, I think you're much better. Oh, thank you very much. It's commitments, though, isn't it? To be fair, if I was to grab hold of Eddie would never say no to me, or anyway, I just couldn't get to him. Eddie's cool. Well, you know that he gave my channel, the first ever live interactive talking to you guys. He took control of the comments, answering it. He enjoyed it. So when it comes to Eddie, if he won't say no, put it that way. But I just couldn't get to him. My aunt has a moustache. It doesn't make him. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not even going to say anything. But yeah, yeah. There's so many comments like that, Joe. I'm not even going to go there. I'm trying not to get my channel banned. No, leave my beautiful Emma. We got to say hello to Emma. Eddie Hearn looked nervous today. Not sure if anyone noticed. I don't know. Well, it is a big fight. It's a risky fight. It's a risky fight. When you look at it, yeah. Say what you want about Daniel Dubois. I do think Anthony Joshua is going to win. I do. I don't think it will go past halfway. I'd be extremely surprised if it did. And if it starts to go past halfway, I'm going to start to favour Daniel. Yeah. Joshua is brilliant in the earlier rounds. When we know that Dubois can sink into those 12s, those 10s, those 12s, he ain't got a problem with that. So I don't know. I didn't notice that Eddie looked nervous. But you never know what's going on in the boxing world, But he looked all right to me. But like I said, the only reason why I couldn't get to him is because I couldn't get near him. But when you lay out the fight itself, everyone said the same thing. We've all said the same thing. We're not boxing analysts, but we saw every time. And this, I almost feel like a parrot saying this, when Hrgović kept on landing that 2 on his chin, and he just kept on taking it and taking it. And I'm thinking, if AJ does that, we've all said the same thing, haven't we? But what if Daniel Dubois dips down, as he does, because he likes to dip down, we know that, and comes back up with a hook. If your hand's not there and that hook gets you discombobulated, them temple shots, So of course there's risks. It's heavyweights. No one's going to sit there and say that Daniel Dubois doesn't hit hard, because he does. It's just about the boxing, the preparing for that, making sure that your defense is on point, and that's for both of them. That's not just for Anthony Joshua. That's for Daniel Dubois as well, because he cannot take those. All right then. I'd be extremely surprised if he could take those shots. And AJ's got a sweet backhand as well, and he'll pull and counter. So he'll let you come in and he'll pull and counter. So it'd be like, pop. Is he going to be able to take that? Because Joshua is explosive. It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah, Basil Lomachenko. Big up all of the girl then. Big them up, yes. Right. The body language, I feel Triple D looks more relaxed here. I feel like he's just, he's just raring to go. I think AJ is more anxious, always shadow boxing for no reason. Also, I still want AJ to win, by the way. Doesn't AJ always do that, though? When I'll never forget when he did that, though, with the Ruiz fight, when Radio Raheem was asking him what was that thing on the side of his face. Do you remember that before Ruiz won? Do you remember? And he was shadow boxing, and Radio Raheem was like, yo, what's that? What's that on the side of your face? And he goes, oh, I don't know. He said some story or whatever it was. He was shadow boxing then. I remember that interview. Let's have a look. Curiously, the only TV personality from the 70s who turned out not to be a naughty boy was Benny Hill. Who would have thought? The Benny Hill show, I remember that. But I grew up with all of that and Carry On. So my sense of humor is of that kind of, when it's flirty, but it's a joke and it doesn't mean any harm, because that's the era that you grew up in. But I don't know if there's any oldies in the chat, but do you find the younger ones just take everything so seriously and the sense of humor is just in the bin? Or is it just me? I don't know. Yeah, been on Basie's channel a few weeks back. All women. Interesting. Base likes the women, though. Just like I like the men. Right. Iffy. Would we be surprised if AJ Dubois went the distance? Yes. Yes. Iffy. And I think the main reason is because I don't want it to. I don't want to see. I don't think it is. I can't. When you just can't see it. I can't see it. Dubois is quick heavyweight with power, and that is the danger. Yeah. George Hearn, good evening, George. I feel like Daniel's coming to win. He seems different. Oh, 100%. 100% he's coming to win. Did you not hear what he said? I'm coming here and I'm going to get all you haters, all you doubters, all of you lot that are saying these things about me. And that's the first time I actually listened to something that he said and it sounded like he actually meant it. It wasn't like, I'm not saying that it's scripted, but it's like, when somebody gives you that pep talk in the corner, but they don't give you the pep talk to say, well done, that shot was brilliant. It's like they give you that pep talk in the corner and say, listen, remember what everyone's saying about you. Remember, people don't think you can do this. Remember, people called you a quitter. I want you to do this to prove them wrong. And then it's like he's regurgitating it, saying, I'm going to show you, haters. So that's what I'm getting from him. So yeah, 100% coming to win, George. Spot on. I once had a patient who I worked with. Oh, do we want to go through this, Russell? I don't think we want to do this tonight. No. I said oh, he never answered. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The story finishes. He wrote in and he never got a reply. A happy ending for all. And Stewie Hall from It's a Knockout. Oh my God. Did he? I must have missed that one. I remember It's a Knockout. A lot of people seem to forget Lorena putting Dubois down 3 times. Yeah, on the mat 3 times in the first round. Yeah, that was mental. Daniel has too many gaps in his defense and he's too cavalier earlier on. Joshua. Yeah, I do agree with that, actually. And this is what I'm saying. These are the things that you should be building on. And these are the repetitions, the drills that can take years, months. It just depends how quickly you absorb that information. You're able to act on it. Probably one of the key things that he may have worked on in his camp is that defense. You've got to keep that defense tight. You've always got to think about, obviously, protecting yourself, but you've got to think about counters. You've got to think about the slips. stepping out of range. Somebody comes forwards with you, the pressure. Somebody said to me the other day, because I've got back into my boxing training again for fitness. He said to me, when somebody comes at you, go into the bigger space. You haven't got to stay there and clamber up. Just move into the bigger space, step out, reset, throw your punches. You know, that's the only thing I don't know. Has he worked on his defense enough? Defense is key. So I don't know. I think AJ, Stephen Byrne, good evening to you. I think AJ has his number, but full respect to them both. Love your channel. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you've subscribed, Stephen. We need to get this. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by Christmas, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I don't know what's going on. We need to get those subscribers up. But yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here and everybody else. Hearn is always nervous for massive fights with AJ. And I'd say specifically with AJ, yeah. Yeah. Joe. Yeah. Lorena fight. I think Lorena's, I read somewhere on X earlier that once again, Lawrence Okoli and him are going to purse bids. I saw the first of the month, I think, as a potential date for it to finally make a settlement, whether that fight's going to happen. I like that fight, you know, with Okoli and Lorena. And I wouldn't mind speaking to Lorena as well, because he was phenomenal to lose his mom and come in and fight like that with Justice Honey. That was insane. What a brave man. As long as AJ doesn't overthink it, it will go similar to the Ngannou fight in terms of Dubois falling for the trap early on. I do believe that. Yeah, it's a potential. I do think that it's early rounds for AJ. Joel Stunner on 57, and you're absolutely right about the human and modern attitudes. Thank God, I thought it was just me. It's like it's just everything's taken so seriously. And it's just really not that serious. Life, sometimes, is just one big joke. Good evening, Ricky. Good evening. Oh, I'll let Toby and Emma do their conversations. Dubois' defense will never be good. He doesn't listen and always reverts to scrapping, and that's from Iffy. Oh, flipping out referees. If Dubois gets away with one headbutt, AJ will see red. Did Takam headbutt him when he broke his nose? Was it Carlos Takam that's popped AJ's nose? I remember hearing it and AJ going, popped his nose. It was Carlos Takam, I'm sure it was. Got to be careful with those headbutts. That was from a head. It wasn't from a punch. I remember that fight. Yeah, it was Takam. Shorter fighter. Oh, yes. We've had a picture together. And it's on my Instagram. And if you don't follow my Instagram and you feel like it, and you fancy something on Instagram, if you fancy looking at October Red on Instagram, it's by October Red. By, as in B-Y, by October Red. So yeah, the picture of KG, Travis and I together today is up on my Instagram page. I think I'd be gobsmacked if Joshua loses. I think a lot of people would be, because he is the favourite. 10K, one word with True Geordie. Have a word. Yeah, I think he was there today, but I didn't speak to him. Lorena's really just a cruiserweight. He's quite underrated. Yeah, well, Lawrence Okoli next, hopefully. Well, we'll see. Nobody's paying any money for that bid. Which bid? The ref is Mark. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it was Takam. Dubois does it deliberately, though. Takam in Cardiff. As in buy, not B-I. Don't you start your rubbish. Imagine, I haven't seen you all bleeding night, and this is the comment you come on the live with. Bye. I was going to give you a very funny video to watch, but I'm not going to now. But if you were from the good old days and you remember Rainbow, yeah, the children's program, they had a spin-off with Zippy, George, and Bungle. And some of you might even have watched that, and it's very funny. It's the adult version, but it's not any, it's on YouTube, so it's not, it's not anything dodgy, but it's quite funny. But yeah, my sense of humor. And it's BY. A Coley stock down like crypto. He needs to just move up to heavyweight and start playing games. He's a businessman, new father. I'm not sure if he's married, but yeah, I don't know. How seriously do you take the sport? When you let yourself down or the sport lets you down or whatever, do you lose that magic that was once in you because you were winning or because you had all that magical team stuff around you and whatever? The one thing is, it's easy for us to sit here because we only imagine. I mean, fair enough, I get, close to the fire, so I get to speak to them, on a personal level. I don't just switch the camera off and like walk away. So I guess you get to speak to them. They're special people, and it takes a lot to do what they do. It takes a lot to do what they do. But it's frustrating as a boxing fan, and I will say this because I am a boxing fan, to think you had so much of a career ahead of you and now you just don't seem bothered, and you're almost frustrated for them, but you don't know what they're thinking in their head, what they're going through, especially after they've had a loss as well. Tricky sport. If you need to do some calling shows to hit 10,000 by December, this will boost your numbers. Yeah, I might start putting a link in the chat actually. I might, if you lot want to come on, like I said, you're more than welcome. I ain't doing it now because I'm going to be getting off in a bit, but you're more than welcome to do that. Time for bed. Bed boy, okay. Does that mean good night? The adult rainbow is very funny. I always thought of Rod, Freddie, and Jane was a strange. Listen, the recent one that you can like put next to that sort of is In the Night Garden, and that's still going back a few years, but that was very odd as well. If you look as an adult watching some of these, you're thinking, what? So yeah. What do you think of the new Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn beef? I thought they deaded it. They've never been on camera before. I thought that was brilliant work by Coogan, by the way. And to be fair, Derek Chisora, that seemed to have like instigated it, as it were. I don't necessarily think there's any beef. I just think that Eddie was sort of like, when someone just lets you know that, they've got more experience than you, like the prefect of the school, and you've got the year sevens or the first years, as we used to call them. I wouldn't say that it's beef. I think Eddie's just like saying, yeah, you're the new guy now, and I had to go through it, and now you're going to have to go through it. So just get on with it. I think that's it. I don't think it's anything malicious. I don't know if it's out of wedlock. He might be married. I'm not putting that comment up. I think Davies beats Kelly. Biggest upset of the night, I reckon. Ooh, interesting. Sky Sports woke agenda turned me off. Soccer complete. I don't even know what. See, I don't watch football. I can't tell you anything about football. I don't know what happened there. Good evening, Maestro from America, my American comrade. How you doing, Maestro? I thought I'd jump on this live because I felt like I owed an apology to the beautiful subscribers because I let them down today and I didn't get any content, but I'm going to try and get some tomorrow. When you think of Hartley hair, it's a wonder. Yeah, play school, flipping heck. We were built different though, because we didn't have mobile phones. We used to play outside. We used to fall over. We used to do crazy things on swings, jumping off them and bashing our heads on the floor. We knew that we had to come home when it got dark. There was no way of tracking them. There was no bloody Find My iPhone or whatever. We were just more instinctive, and I just think we were sharper. And as technology as really progressed. Us as humans have regressed. But that's another show. And I can speak to you about that another time when we talk about the health and well-being of human beings. But I'm not doing that today. But I know what I mean. We were braver. And absolutely salute to everybody in the chat. Yeah, bless. There, see, he said it when the street lights went on, it was time to go home. Couldn't have said it better myself. You joking here? No, he hasn't. Has he done it on his basis picks? He sent the thing in the chat. I've got to watch it. Hearn and Shalom looked fine to me on stage with face-offs. Probably Eddie Hearn trying to be the wind-up merchant. Yeah, I don't even think that it was anything personal, to be fair. I think it might have been personal if it was Frank Smith, though. I don't think Frank Smith likes him at all. I like Frank Smith, by the way. We were allowed to play on building sites. Built difference is an understatement. Yeah, I remember like being a kid, like say if there was an empty house that maybe had, I don't know, floor missing or whatever. That's where we used to play hide and seek. I can remember playing hide and seek in the graveyard. How insane is that? I don't know if you did it. I don't know if I'm confessing something I probably shouldn't be. But we used to play hide and seek in the graveyard in the park all the time. Crazy. Oh, just started following me on IG, Red. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, I don't know. Listen, I mentioned that earlier, Maestro. I don't know. Look, I think he's done a few videos. I think he's called out Triple D's dad. For whatever reason, he said what he said. He stood on what he said. You know, he said it with his chest. So just leave him to get on with it. And it's true. Unfortunately, the younger generation, under 25s, can't make eye contact and keep a conversation. Under 25s, I'm going to push it back and say under 30s. I don't think it's under 25s. I think you can push that up to 30. I think anybody born past 1990, I'm going to say that. 1990, 1992, 1993. And yeah, we did. That's what we did. We walked to school on our own. That was normal. Normal. Do you remember those horrific public safety films with kids? I remember that. It came up the other day on TikTok. I don't know what it is, but TikTok's doing a series of like the old health and safety. And it's like, do you remember it was a cat? Charlie said, remember like two strangers went up to Charlie and tried to get him to walk off with them. And then he turns around and the cat makes his noise. And then he says, oh, I can't go with you. That was your safety. Don't talk to strangers. Don't take sweets off strangers, blah, blah, blah. Just all of that stuff. And now you don't even meet someone like you know, the love of your life on the street or in a pub or at the library or whatever, or college, or now you're going on an app and looking at something like you're buying a pair of shoes and deciding, oh yeah, I like the look of them. Well, yeah, all right, let's have that. So you've got no social skills, because how are you able to communicate with people normally? I can have the most fantastic conversations. I know I'm digressing because I'm standing on my box now and I'm going to have a moan. I can have the most fantastic conversation with people through apps, through Instagram, through TikTok, through Twitter. You see them in person. It's like you're speaking to a mute. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Social skills are a thing of the past. You know, when they do like these vocational studies and extra studies at school, it should be, how do you speak to people? Put away your phone. Let's have a normal conversation and see how long you last. Nuts. See, I sound like a right grandma then. Yeah, it's all that money. You're 29 and you disagree. Sorry, Iffy. Well, Iffy, you're clearly cut from a different cloth. I used to get punched by teachers and the old man would say, good, you must have deserved it. Yeah, it was like that, wasn't it? What did you do? What did you do to get the slipper? Because it was a slipper when I was at school. I think the cane was phasing out, and then we had a headmistress that had this slipper. But yeah, it was definitely different type. Yeah, I do go off on tangents. Right. Has anyone ever seen Spencer Fear unbox? Yeah, I think there's videos of him. It could, yeah. Yeah, I think there might be videos of him on YouTube. I think you can find them. Do it, David. Do it. Do it. I mean, we don't know when we're going to have an event of this magnitude again, do we? I think it's iconic. I think it's something that will go down in history as well. That'll be spoken about in years to come. Everything aside, it's a marvelous event, fantastic atmosphere. It's doing wonders. That the way that everything is so well thought out, there's themes. The whole week is treated like an event. You're getting fights midweek. I can't argue with that, because we won't be getting anything like that anywhere else. And the card is absolutely stacked as well. I like the card. I'm not complaining about the card at all. I remember stopping off at the corner shop to buy sweets on the way to school. There was a bubble gum machine outside. Yeah, I remember it. And next to it was... okay. I think I might have missed that bit. And yes, there would. Yes, yes. He had a mean left hook fear on. With you, like, with the eye emojis. Stop it, October Red. I might book some national expense. Do it. Do it. Why not? Why not? In fact, do it, because the public workout, I think there's a public workout tomorrow. I don't know where it is because I have to check my email, but I'm sure there's a public workout tomorrow. So why not? Do it. YOLO. That's what I like to say. YOLO. And I can't believe I put those things up on my chat. So thank you, Joe. Thank you for reminding me, even though my brain had clearly forgotten about that bit. I remember the bubble gum. I don't remember the other thing. So I'm 10 years younger than you, because I'm 47 this year. I'm 46 at the moment, but I'm 47 in October. So they might have just phased out the second bit. But yeah. Oh, here we go. I don't know, is it? If it is, that's a new one. Spencer Fearon versus David Walker was a brilliant area title fight, and it's on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, Star Fox. We're not even going to talk about that. But listen, I came on here expecting to be here for 15 minutes talking to myself. And instead, I've been here on here for an hour and 22 minutes, 23 minutes, still talking to myself, but with people in the chat. Listen, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get some sleep. And like I said, back out again tomorrow. I've tried to line some things up, and hopefully I'll get some content out for you guys tomorrow. But listen, thanks for tuning in. It's the whole Stay Ready thing. You know what to do. Please subscribe to the channel. That would help. And like I said, I've got other platforms. By October Red on IG and October Red UK on X. Yeah, so yeah, all of that good stuff. But good night, my beauties. Sleep well. And yeah, I guess we'll catch up. We'll catch up tomorrow. We'll definitely catch up tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in. And stay ready. Stay ready.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.